We set off from Rothsay for Meikle Kilmory, where we will leave the main A844 road and take the right of way across fields to a gate which exits onto the beach on the east side of St Ninian's Bay. Our intention is to ford the Greenan Burn which flows into the bay and ride around the bay to the old fishermen's cottages out on St Ninian's Point whilst the tide is out, and to take a look at the remains of both the former herring smokehouse and the 6th century chapel of St Ninian.
Go across the beach and just cross the river there.
We're going that way, Jim?
Yeah.
Left.
That way.
And across the ford.
Shortly after crossing the Greenan Burn, we follow a grassy track and pass Daisy Cottage, which was originally built in 1895 as a fisherman's cottage. We pick up a stony track at a second old fisherman's cottage, then pass a modern house. This track goes north to the ancient settlement of Straad, but we will turn off to ride around the bay before we reach Straad. We will pass through Straad on the way back. Now we go left to ride around the head of the bay and out to St Ninian's Point.
Pick up the track. I don't know if that's rideable there, but
We come off the sand before running into a bouldery foreshore and pick up a single track footpath made up of pulverised seashells. Over to the right, beyond this gate, are a couple of small, ancient standing stones, about 1.5 metres high. We have now reached a narrow isthmus which is inundated by the high spring tides when they occur and cut off the fishermen's cottages at the point. Out here there is a very real sense of being out on the edge, despite our proximity to Straad. St Ninian's Point is completely exposed to the savagery of the sea during the furious storms of winter, and cut off when the narrow isthmus is underwater. Yeah, oh, beautiful job they've done of this, renovating this old cottage. The most lovely stone. Same way, yeah, same way. Oh, you got the bike 3. Good stuff, well done. Aye. Did you pull that stake out? Aye. The last time we were here, that was in the chest of shutting. This is all that remains of St Ninian's Chapel, an early Christian site dating back to the 6th century. The chapel here is thought to be an offshoot of the cradle of early Christianity in Scotland at the Isle of Whithorn on the Solway coast. Come in. Come in and pray to the Lord. It's easy to imagine that its location in such an exposed site, so close to the sea, is because it is from there that Christianity came to the Isles and western seaboard of Scotland. It was a seafaring religion in those early days. Those early seafaring saints really were fishers of men. It is interesting to note that the chapel's location on a point of land that is cut off by the rhythm of the tides is also a feature of Lindisfarne in Northumberland. One wonders whether this is a pattern which speaks of a need for a contemplative life apart from the material world. The old herring smokehouse, ruin of. A relic from the old days when there used to be a herring industry here. These ruins of a former herring smokehouse and the 2 fishermen's cottages which we passed before going through the gate testify to the importance of St Ninian's Bay as a centre for fishing. In the 19th century, the best fishing waters in the area were to be found off the west coast of Bute, and the bay here offered a sheltered anchorage. The bay also supported large populations of cockles and mussels, which were collected, and this explains the large quantities of pulverised shell material found around the bay, including along part of the path we cycled along to get here, and in deposits scattered around amongst the grass on the point. Aye, the West Kyles. Tiny brewer in the distance there. Ardlamment Point. Marnock. Mr. Rushworth. Aaron behind. These look a little bit like Meikle but they're not Meikle. It's not the right time of year. They're too short anyway. Ground hugging. Well, they're very pretty. Just on the way out though. There's the machine having a wee break. It's a real West Coast summer experience today, isn't it?
I love this weather.
Beautiful yellow lichen. Now we head back the way we came and follow the track which passes through the sleepy settlement of Straad, which was once a fishing village, where the local fishermen had their dwellings and shared some common ground for grazing cattle. Shortly after leaving Straad, we turn right along the farm track to Ballycurrie. Passing Ballycurrie, we go straight on to ride along the rather rutted and muddy track to Quogach. That's a bit Heath Robinson-like, isn't it? Whoa!
You take yours through and then I'll hold it.
Okay, I'll come and get it.
Yeah.
Cheeky bloody down here, so today is no exception. Fence which blocks off the access to Quogach, so hopefully this diversion track will take us where we want to go, back to the road. The route through Quogach has now been closed off, presumably to create some privacy for the farmhouse, so we follow a new diversion route which takes us back to the A844 main road.
John! Right here.
Just after passing Barone Hill, which is to the right of the main road, we turn right onto another farm track. This leads down to the ruins of Craigberoch farm and steadings, tucked away in a secluded wooded hollow. It must have been an impressive sight before the farm was abandoned sometime in the early 1960s. The stripping of slates from the roof probably led to rapid ruination and the sad sight of dilapidation we see today. Aye, aye. Love this arched doorway into this outbuilding, it's lovely. Couple of little fireplaces. Plumbing. Now we locate a muddy and cattle-churned path downhill towards Loch Fad and freewheel down through a field to exit onto the road.